مشاهدي قناة SUD TV الأكارم، أهلا ومرحبا بكم في حلقة جديدة من طريق الشوق. بعد التحية والتجلة اسمحوا لي إني أرحب بالأستاذة أماني عبد الخالق وانضمامها للتيم العامل في SUD TV، وأعرب عن سعادتي بانضمام الأستاذة أماني، وحقيقة أعرب عن سعادتي أكثر بأنها حتنضم لأسرة طريق الشوق في الإعداد والتقديم، والحلقات إن شاء الله القادمة حتكون بعمل مشترك بيني أنا وبين الأستاذة أماني عبد الخالق، وإن شاء الله هي حتكون طبعا إضافة كبيرة جدا للقناة وإضافة كبيرة جدا لطريق الشوق. نحن كنا في الأيام اللي فاتت تكلمنا عن الثورة السودانية، وفي الحلقة السابقة وتكلمنا حول اللي هي استخدام آليات اللاعنف، وقلنا إنه الثورة السودانية أصبحت علامة فارغة في التاريخ الإنساني، ما بتقل بل بالعكس تتفوق على كل الثورات اللي قامت ضد الطغيان في العصر الحديث. وقلنا إنه هي ممكن يؤرخ لها، أو زي ما المهاتما غاندي بدأ هو الأدبيات مقاومة اللاعنف بدأت بقراية لما قام به في استخدام هذه الآليات. الثورة السودانية بنفس المستوى ابتدعت شغل جديد وآليات جديدة بتحتاج لبحث الباحثين، وبتحتاج لأنه الناس تعمل دراسات حول الثورة السودانية وانتصارها. والثورة السودانية فعلا نالت اهتمام العالم ككل، ويمكن الناس الشفاتة والثوار والكنداكات الموجودين في السودان قد لا يلمسوا المسألة دي بشكل كبير، لكن كل السودانيين الموجودين خارج السودان الآن مرفوعة هاماتهم بانتمائهم لهذا الشعب العظيم. يعني تخيل انك انت من ايام المواكب لما تكون انت ماشي في الشارع ويقوم يقول لك تلاقي واحد مثلا اجنبي ويقول لك بعربيه مكسره تظبط بس، فانت حقيقه بتحس بانك انت فعلا يعني بتنتمي لامه عريقه، امه بتاعت امجاد حقيقيه. واستطاعت الثوره السودانيه انها تثير اهتمام كل العالم، ده بالإضافة لما عملته وحققته من انتصارات داخل السودان. يعني حتى هسه الحكاية بتاعت الانقلابات والانقسامات اللي حصلت ما بين اللي هي في بين العساكر دي، المسألة دي هي من الضغط الجماهيري حقيقة هو اللي وصل الناس دي لحالة بتاعت يأس، وإنهم بعد كده أصبحوا ما على قلب رجل واحد زي ما كانوا في الأول، ما عملوا شغل بتاع خطة لإجهاض الثورة السودانية، لكن هسه هم حتى تعاملهم مع الثورة السودانية أصبح هم مختلفين كيف إنهم هم يتعاملوا مع هذا المد الجماهيري الكبير. وظهرت بعد ذاك المسألة بتاعت الانقلابات وانقلاب الحركة الإسلامية اللي كان في الأيام اللي فاتت، وكذلك محاولاتهم المستمرة في هذه الثورة السودانية بأنهم يعني يوضحوا أو يسفروا عن وجههم القبيح من خلال ما أخرجوه من مخرجات في مخرجات لجنة التحقيق فض الاعتصام وغيره. يعني احنا حقيقة حنتكلم في الحلقات القادمة إن شاء الله حول فض الاعتصام، وكان أساسا المفروض نحن في الحلقة دي كنا قبل ما يطلعوا هم المسألة بتاعت النتائج بتاعت لجنة التحقيق بتاعتهم، كنا دايرين نتكلم عن فض الاعتصام كواحدة من الخطط اللي قام بها النظام السابق، النظام البايد، نظام الجبهة الإسلامية، في إنه يجهد به ثورة الشباب وثورة السودانيين. وحتظل يعني احنا قلنا يا جماعة الثورة هي بالنسبة للسودان دي 30 سنة من تنظيم قدر انه يعني ينجح في تدمير كل مفاصل الدولة، وقلنا قبل كده انه هو نجح في انه بالتحديد بنسبة اكثر يعني قريب لل100% في انه يدمر قوات الشعب المسلحة، وبالتأكيد ولادة الدولة المدنية الديمقراطية اللي بتلبي طموحات الشعب السوداني لا بد إنه الولادة دي تكون متعثرة، لكن الثورة حقيقة ماشية منتصرة. وأكدنا في إنه مفترض الناس يعني تحاول بقدر الإمكان، أو الشيء الأساسي المهمة الأساسية بالنسبة لها إنها تحافظ على وحدة الجماهير وتحافظ على وحدة قيادة الجماهير، اللي هو ده الشرط الأساسي، الشرط الذاتي للثورة اللي يتحقق بعد 30 سنة. ما عايزين احنا، وهو واحد من مكتسبات الثورة السودانية، ما عايزين نضيعه نحن بأي اختلافات أو أي شكل من أشكال إنه الحركة الإسلامية تسعى به لأنه تشق الجماهير وتحبطها. نحن يا جماعة انتصرنا وحقيقة ماشيين بننتصر كل يوم. طيب الكلام ده، هل الكلام ده كلامي أنا بس؟ لا، ده الكلام ده حقيقة العالم كله بيشهد له. والأستاذة أمانة عبد الخالق قامت بعمل لقاءات، كان في مؤتمر في برلين، عملت لقاءات مع ناشطين في برلين، ناشطين لحقوق الإنسان ومهتمين بأمور اللاجئين وكده، فعملت معاهم لقاءات ونحن هنعرضها لكم في الحلقة دي، واللي هي بتوضح انه الناس دي كل كلامهم اول حاجه الناس حقيقه يعني مندهشين تماما بالثوره السودانيه، مندهشين بدور المراه السودانيه في الثوره، مندهشين باستمراريه الثوره للشهور الطويله دي، ومندهشين بانه السلطه ما نجحت حتى بعد ما تم في فض الاعتصام والانتهاكات اللي حصلت تجاه المراه السودانيه. المرأة السودانية رجعت تاني وشاركت في يوم 30 يونيو، وهم في نفس الوقت بيقدموا رسائل للشعب السوداني اللي هو بيأكدوا على وحدة. مفترض إنه الشعب السوداني يحافظ على اليونيتي، على الوحدة بتاعته، يحافظ الشعب السوداني على السلمية اللي قوم بها ثورته، واللي هي كانت يعني حقيقة أدهشت الجميع، يعني أدهشت كل العالم. أنا حخليكم مع الفيديوهات دي اللي هي أنا جمعتها الثلاثة مع بعض على أساس إنه هذا الفيديو للقاء اللي قامت به الأستاذة أمانة عبد الخالق في برلين، وأعود لكم بعد الفيديو.
The TV, we are meeting Mary and Basil, and I want just to ask Mary and Basil first introduce themselves, and after that I want to ask where did they hear about Sudan uprising, and we start with Mary.
Hi, my name is Mary. I've been living in Berlin for 30 years, but I'm actually Irish.
Hi, I'm Basil. I'm a journalist who lives in Berlin as well for 3 years now.
My question, where did you hear about Sudanese revolution?
Of refugees and migrants in the whole journey to Europe, and the very problematic, very authoritarian developments in Europe. So I was researching about the Horn of Africa and Sudan, and then over Facebook I saw that there was a protest, a sit-in in front of the German foreign embassy, the foreign ministry, and I went, and I was incredibly inspired by the energy I felt there and by the urgency I felt there, and it connected to me many things, and this is where I got to know the struggle. Since then I got to know the struggle much better, and I want to work to support it with whatever means I have.
And Mary?
And I've been working on some of similar things, particularly the fight against racism in general, but particularly focused on the Syrian war, now entering its 9th year. A genocide against revolution is how you have to describe that incredibly horrific and tragic situation that Assad and since 2015 Putin just basically are exterminating the population there, anybody who would have anything to say against this dictatorship. It's a very defeating struggle because the world in the end is complicit in that bloodbath. Also the murdering through rape and torture and so on. And in the course of that, obviously Sudanese people, other people were there, but you suddenly had this explosion, didn't you, the end of 2018, when the dictator of Sudan, Bashir, wanted to hold hands with Assad and to strengthen their dictatorships. People exploded on the streets, shouting, the people want the fall of the regime. Should I try it? Shab, read Nizam, my best pronunciation, shouting this against the attempt of these dictators to hold hands and to prop up their dictatorships that way. And that was really amazing to see. It went on with this movement which developed in strength and strength the whole time. When racism was used, racism against black Darfurians was used against this movement, people went out on the street and shouted, "We are all Darfur." Incredibly inspiring the role of women in that, inspiring obviously the sit-in from April, which became a sort of power within the power, people running their own lives, dreaming a future Sudan, incredibly inspiring up to then this sit-in now, which we've just had a few weeks ago, 24-hour sit-in outside the Foreign Ministry in Berlin.
What do you think, what the difference between Sudan now operating and other what happened in all the world? Do you think there is different?
It's a very complex question. What is similar that I see all over the place, everywhere you look, very authoritarian developments. This is in our societies, this is in every Western society, that is in every other society. So that is the general rule, that is the time that we live in. And therefore also the struggle against this, the uprisings against it, the people standing up for their rights, is in some way similar, because I think they relate to a shared experience. But of course the experience in every place, in every society is very different, and I find it hard to judge that in detail. I live with a Syrian journalist as well. That is why also the war in Syria has been very close to me, even though it has been out of the media for a long time. I wake up with it, I go to bed with it. And I learn a lot about the Syrian revolution and how it started with a lot of hope and incredible energy and an incredible unity as well, which people here don't want to see. They like to just focus on sectarian divisions, but they don't want to see how these divisions are used by the regime to split people, divide and rule. I think also this is valid for everywhere. I think also for Sudan, and I think the powers that be, the regimes will always try to divide people, to appeal to their different interests, to give them privileges and to fight against the others. These are similarities. I'm very inspired by the fact that the revolution, the uprising in Sudan has remained peaceful up until now, and I think it's incredibly important and powerful to remain like this, to not give the regimes another reason to use more violence, because this has been happening in Syria and this has happened in other revolutions throughout the Middle East. Yes.
Thank you.
Can I just add to that? I mean, one of the most amazingly inspiring things in Sudan is, first of all, coming from here, you know nothing about the country, and you see a revolution which unites people from Khartoum, had a general strike over 3 days with airport workers, oil workers, professors, doctors, dentists, tea women on the streets, and so many other, including then the poorest farmers who probably can't write or read and certainly have no access to the internet, uniting all of that in one force, including armed struggles in 3 civil war areas. That is incredibly inspiring. Now, I know there are concerns about negotiations now and where that goes with the military and so on. That doesn't change the fact that this is incredibly inspiring, the uniting of a whole country with so many different conditions of work, and that the commitment of that revolution was to end all civil war, to take 3 or 4 years of a transition process, to end all these civil wars, and to find structures or ways that would express the desires of all the people living there. And that's incredibly inspiring to see, which then comes probably to what's important for us, is what you do if you're living in Berlin and in Europe, is not to try and just follow the revolution and say that's nice what they're doing, but we have to look at the central role of the EU here in funding the reaction. So the EU would say that they haven't given money to the Janjaweed militias, the RSF. This is very strange because they have in the Khartoum process absolutely supported all Sudanese governments, Bashir, and after Bashir went away, the next one. We have an transparent situation, but we definitely have funding. The Janjaweed got uniforms, ID cards, guns, and then you have smuggling going over the border from, for example, the Emirates. Now this is also interesting. We mentioned a 24-hour sit-in that was called by the group Sudan Uprising Germany here in Berlin. That was to protest a private, internal, secret meeting run by the German Foreign Ministry where they invited US, UK, Norway, so-called Troika, and they invited the Emirates, the Saudis and the Egyptians to come and talk. Interesting about this meeting was two things. No Sudanese representation was allowed, although it was requested repeatedly. Sudanese people asked for representation at a meeting about Sudan, and no journalist was welcome. So up to today, we don't know what they did. We do know that the Emirates, we have also the documentation of this, have smuggled in four-wheel drives, jeeps, all sorts of other equipment. There's even rumour that they might be involved in trying to get aircraft for the RSF, Rapid Support Forces, formerly called the Janjaweed. We know that all this horrific stuff is doing, and it is completely undocumented. My picture on this is the EU and Germany, like the big mafia, inviting the next layer of mafia, just like in the Hollywood films, to come. They brought them in a bus with darkened windows. They smuggled them in. They had discussions, and they make an anodyne statement at the end saying, we think it's important to have multilateral approaches to peacemaking. We have to demand that they actually answer questions on that. We have to demand to find out what they have been doing, and that they are the cause of all evil in the end in Sudan and in all surrounding countries through the Khartoum process.
Thank you very much. Do you want Basel to send some encouragement to Sudanese to make their Sudan uprising alive and continue still they are implemented justice and freedom and peace?
All my encouragement, and I pay my deepest respect to everyone who's standing up for their rights. I pay my deepest respect to the many women who play an amazing, essential role in this and who have suffered the most from the regimes in Sudan. My deepest respect. Keep on going. There's a lot of solidarity around the world for this struggle.
Thank you very much, Basil. And
I
Mary?
can only just add to that, but what's really disturbing, moving, and then again inspiring is that it means the Sudanese revolution is at the centre of the global fight back against all forms of oppression. All these dictators are paid for by the West. They all get their money, they get their oppression, they get encouraged to use rape, to use racism, to divide people. And the Sudanese revolution has kept coming back and coming back, risking their own lives. The question of rape, just the small detail on it, at many times they have said, get the girls and then you will get the movement. It is an actual, and it's been documented in the ICC, actual use of rape cognitively as a tactic to divide and destroy a movement. And those women, particularly on the 30th of June, for example, came back in force. Incredibly inspiring to look at. And we thank them for that, obviously, send all sorts of wishes, thank them for the inspiration, and hope that the Sudanese revolution can hold, because in the wake of that, so many other peoples will be inspired to fight back, and we hope also back in the heart of the beast here.
Thank you, Basil, and thank you, Mary. I'm very grateful to have you both here today. Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Thank you very
Amani.
much.
Thank you very much. Find some of our activities then on the Facebook group, Stand With #Sudan Uprising, Stand With Sudan Uprising. And we started this group in February because we were various international activists looking at what can we do to support this amazing explosion of revolutionary energy in Sudan. The EU obviously responsible, and what can you do about this? And we just formed this group, started using the Facebook page there to spread information and called a Global Day of Action, which happened in February. Global Day of Action is a bit too big for what it was, but we did get international solidarity messages and a very good demonstration here, certain media coverage and so on. And that group just carried on with Facebook activities up to now, just spreading the news of the revolution, but also trying to particularly build solidarity in Europe of people living here who have to know what their government is responsible for in paying for the reaction in Sudan, and also directly challenging the German government. So that's what we've been trying to do up to now. And you will find us on Facebook, that's stand with #SudanUprising.
حقيقة الواحد بشكر الأستاذ أمان عبد الخالق، بشكر ميري، وبشكر واصل على الكلمات الطيبة اللي قالوها في حق الثورة السودانية. وزي ما شفتوا إنه الناس منبهرة جدا بما قدم الشعب السوداني من تضحيات، ونحن بنأكد إنه الثورة مستمرة، وبنأكد إنه كل العقبات اللي بتلاقيها الثورة السودانية دلوقتي هي حتكون يعني وقود إضافي للجماهير في إنها تواصل ثورتها، تحرس مكتسباتها، تحافظ على وحدتها ووحدة قيادتها. وإن شاء الله في الحلقة القادمة يعني مبرمج إنه نتكلم عن فض الاعتصام، ونحن بنحاول بقدر الإمكان إنه ما نتكلم عن الأحداث اليومية، بقدر ما إنه إحنا نتكلم عن الثورة السودانية وشكل تحليل لانتصار هذه الثورة، وإنه نحن نبث الروح في الجماهير إنه هي منتصرة إن شاء الله، وإن شاء الله الجماهير حتصل بالمدنية بتاعتها، وتصل إن شاء الله لتحقيق الدولة السودانية الحديثة على ركام الدولة القديمة، دولة الجوع والقهر والرجعية والظلام. وإن شاء الله النور حيكون يعم كل البلد السودان. وفي الختام أحييكم، أحيي الشفاتة، أحيي الكنداكات، وحرية سلام وعدالة، والثورة خيار الشعب. ودمتم وإلى اللقاء في الحلقة القادمة من طريق الشوق.